My last video cut off. What did I leave off? I left off. So my flesh carrying each cell as a trillion-celled organism. Each cell is an electromagnetic output of a masculine output, negative output, and a feminine output. Masculine plus the plus symbol, the negative output is the minus symbol. So now this is for each. You could say this is for each organ of my endocrine system and of everybody's endocrine system. So each organ is each organ, right, is a corset dynamic between masculine and feminine, which is electro and magnetic output. Between an electromagnetic output, each organ is that dynamic within of itself in relationship to the next organ, from below, from all the way to the gut, the hips, all the way to the throat and the forehead of the human organelle. So now this is the dynamic essentially of multi-dimensional astrophysics and biology. So it's all corresponding. When you know exactly how essential this correspondency is, then you will know all meanings come together as one sound view. All meanings come together as one sound view, and this sound view is a perceptual image of light. And this perceptual image of light is an idea that is an imagination. So an imagination is an idea that is a perceptual imagery of light, and this light is a sound view. So light, sound, and matter produces a view. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because light, sound, and matter is a synonym of the same function, a vibration. And this vibration is fluid. What does fluid do? Fluid is always in motion, just like vibration. That is the law of correspondence and the law of vibration. Fluid is always in motion. And when fluid is still, like distilled water or just still in the cup, when the fluid is still, it is always still vibrating on a molecular level. It's always still vibrating. It's always still in motion. So molecules is always in motion. And matter that we see, that we perceive every day, the light that we perceive every day, which is the matter of our surrounding environments, is always in motion regardless of whether we see the matter moving or not, because the molecules is always vibrating. So the vibration of these molecular molecules on a microcosmic subatomic level are either vibrating at a slow speed, which densifies the optical illusion of our experience for us to be able to live throughout the experience at a more memorable state. We're living out the experience of this slower vibratory speed and pace to have a more memorable experience. So now if this vibratory rate of molecular subatomic particle of matter of subatomic molecules were to speed up at a faster pace, then we would be living at a state of matter at a less memorable state. Mind you, granted, we would remember and be able to memorialize these experiences, but they would be at a quicker experience. So that's like, me running into a nail salon. I don't know. I could use Planet Fitness or, you feel me, or Subway or wine and liquors or a vape, whatever's in my area. I run into a store real quick, and I run right back out. The less memory I have of my experience in that store. Mind you, I know exactly what I went in the store for, what my experience was in the store for, but my memory of the store is less vivid, it's less emotional, it's less attached, it's less uh, 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 appreciative. It's less appreciative, really. That's the core here. That's the core of this God dynamic of subatomic awareness. Is the faster the frequency that you're experiencing these realms of divinity, the less appreciative you can become, or you are, because they happen so fast. Because that's the rate of the vibratory motion of subatomic awareness that's being experienced. It's so fast, you don't really get to appreciate it for what it is. So now if I go into a wine and liquor stores or a vaporium or bagel shop and I'm in there for like an hour, you know, there's more appreciation. There's more of an emotional observation of my surrounding environments. It's more of an emotional absorption of my surrounding environments through my observation. I'm only absorbing through my observation, so I'm choosing what to take in and what to let go. I'm choosing what to take in and what not to take in. You see, when you absorb in from your environment, you have to be very mindful that you can only absorb through your observation. You can only absorb through your observation. If you're not observing, then you're not absorbing anything. That means you're not learning anything. If you're not absorbing anything, you're not learning anything. So now you need to know if you're going to absorb from your environment, then you're learning and you're observing to learn. You're not absorbing to take in and to carry with you a whole bunch of shit you don't like, shit you don't want to experience, shit you wouldn't want to experience in the future, and shit you wouldn't want somebody else to experience. You're not going to take that in and keep that with you on your journey and carry that with you, carry that memory with you. You're going to want to throw that memory in the garbage. When you, as an absorber, when you go and you absorb all of the core qualities of your 360 degrees surrounding environments, then essentially you need to know that you're simply observing on what it is you are learning. What it is you're learning. What do you want to keep and what do you want to disregard? What is essential to who you are and what is essential to who you are to become and who you want to become on your journey throughout this plane. Once you can know to observe and not to absorb just any bullshit, you'll know how to release a whole bunch of negative toxins real fast. You can get off you, like wiping some goo off you, like wiping some bullshit off you. Wiping some bullshit off you is wiping some goo off you, some slime. That's essentially what that is. When you get to that level of awareness, essentially what you're doing is you're in between the world of the visible and the world of the invisible. You're in between the world of the seen and the world of the unseen. You're walking right through, like no different from walking through a wall. You're walking right through because let's be clear here. If you are able to put your hand, if you are able to see through an object, but you're not able to put your hand through the object, what the fuck is it? It's called life on Earth. The double slit experience. It's called life on Earth. What do you call an object that is transparent, seen through one end from out the other, translucent, transparent, completely seen through, invisible, but yet you cannot put your arm through this object? You cannot put your hand through it. You can't put another object through it. You can't put a piece of scissor through it. You can't put a cup through it. You can't put nothing through it. But yet you can optically see through this object, which is a subject only, because I already made a video on all objects being subjects, and only, you know, lower states of mind, you could say like first and second dimensional creatures use objects in their vocabulary, on their tongue. You know, the words you use will of certainty measure what dimension you are on. The words you use will be your measurement for what dimension you are on. So we are all on a bunch of fucking, in life, we are all here with a bunch of first, second, and third dimensional ass creatures that use very limited terminology that limitedly define their world, because they're on a limited point of view basis based on their limited ass awareness on their either lack of self-reflection or their lack of self-observation. So if they're lacking in self-reflecting on why they do what they do, when they do it, and how they feel about whatever they do when they do it, then they're a very limited mind frame. And if they don't self-observe themselves in a manner that can learn from their interactions with their environment, their ecosystem, what is synonymous with one another, one and the same, their environment is your ecosystem, and their interactions with other creatures, humans, of course, aliens, extraterrestrials, because not all species are the same classifications of one another. Just like we all see there are different species of animals on Earth that have 4 legs, but they're not all the same species of classification. They're not all classified as the same species. But just because we have mammals that walk on 2 legs don't mean we're the same human. We're not the same species at all. And that's not how scientific classification works, based upon the biological makeup of each cellular function, because cells group up and they become cell tissue, and they become membrane, or they become membranes of cell tissue, and then they become organs, and then the organs become, mind you, your organs are sentient. They have to become aware of itself as an organ. What is the part that it plays in the society of the rest of your endocrine system and your organelles function. Just like no different of how we become aware in society. We become aware at 18. We become aware, oh, what am I gonna do for my life? Oh, that's the 18-year-old's awareness. What am I gonna do? For real. Like, what is my career gonna be? How am I gonna contribute to society? What is my role in society? Am I just gonna make some money and then hide away and isolate myself and seclude myself from society and make my money enough to make just enough money for me to eat, sleep, work, get a car, a home, and and keep my mind away from society and shut myself away from society? Or am I gonna be a contributor of society? Am I gonna be somebody that makes too much money? I make an amass amount of money where I couldn't spend this money on myself if I wanted to. I have to give back to somebody. I have to do something with this money, because hey, how else would I be known? How else would I be myself at that point? When you have too much money, if you're worth $450 billion, and how would you be yourself if you didn't contribute to society? You wouldn't know yourself with $450 billion. And you didn't have anything to do with it. you would force yourself into seclusion. You would force yourself into an animal's indulgence. You would just become an animal state of mind. You would have sex, you would do drugs, you would drink, you would have sex, have more sex, because you can get anything you want at any moment. Yeah, that's about that. But the fucking last video that I'm bringing back up here is the dimensions 1 to 9. That's the point here. That's the point. I don't be getting off track. I really get off track where I don't get right back on track and I get to the fucking point that's made, because a point is nothing more, nothing less than a dimension. A point, if I was to draw a point on a piece of paper, that point would be a symbolic exemplification of a line, and that same line would be a dimension. So whenever you make a point in an argument, whether it's an argument, you shouldn't be debating. You shouldn't be arguing, debating anyway, especially when there's facts that exist in the world. Whenever you're making a point, you're reaching a dimension. You're getting to a dimension. You're going somewhere. When you're having a dialogue with someone, you're traveling somewhere. You know, you don't have to be moving your feet to be traveling. When you're having a dialogue with someone, that is an experience. That's accounted as an experience, and that is accounted for as a traveling. So when you're talking with someone, you're always going from point A to point B to C to D to E. And when you're going somewhere, when you're traveling somewhere with that person that you're having a dialogue with, you are always formulating, you're always formulating a larger and larger and larger and larger concept. It's like you're zooming out, you're zooming in. It's like you're zooming out of a photo. You're zooming in and out of a photo as you're dialoguing with someone. You can go back or you can go forward, and then you go back, you go forward. You can go back a little bit, and then you can go further out into the dialogue, but nonetheless you're traveling. And so now at the end of the dialogue, where you finally reach the point of your conversation with this person, there is a destination that you meet, and this destination is only the beginning of another dimensional travel. Now you're moving your feet. You just went from the mental plane to the physical plane. You just went from the realm of the mental universe, which is the dialogue, sitting in a car or sitting in a park, from reaching the end of the destination of that dialogue to then know exactly what it is that destination cultivated. It cultivated enough emotional emphasis and enough emotional awareness for you to then go out to achieve what that dialogue has planted. The dialogue is planting, because once you realize that you now have to commit an emotional action, once that dialogue is parked, that dialogue is parked, it's at its destination. Now you have to carry out an emotional action to now fulfill the manifestation of that dialogue into a whole nother multi-dimensional plane of awareness, which is the plane of physics. So now that's you taking, this is how, ideas are worth money. Ideas are worth more money than gossip. So now this is how you take a mental idea, you vocalize this mental idea, which is invisible, just like your words are invisible. You don't see your subtitles of the words when you're speaking. You're taking these mental ideas, you're vocalizing these mental ideas in this world of this mental, in this realm of the mentalized plane. You're then creating enough surge, enough electrical charge, enough electromagnetic charge for you to travel and get to the destination of the end of that dialogue. You get to the end of that dialogue, and then now you are emotionally prepped. You're emotionally prepared and ready to now move your feet. You're moving your feet now. You're moving in the realm of the third dimension. Now you're moving in the realm of the third dimension, and you are committed to committing these emotional acts. these acts of emotion. Get it? Your energy is in motion. Literally, this is literal astrophysics. Your energy is in motion. You're moving your feet, your energy is in motion. Your emotion, so any form of movement is emotion. You're now interactive with the third plane of physical dimensional existence. So now you just went from the second dimension to the third dimension, and your self-reflection of what you've accomplished would be the fourth dimension. So now once you move your feet, you accomplish what you said you was accomplished through the dialogue with this person or group that you was interacting with. You took in all the emotions into action, into movement, for you to accomplish whatever this dialogue you have with somebody. And this could be as simple as going to the store, or wanting to go to the store, or wanting to go buy something, or wanting to film a movie, or wanting to go make some music with somebody. Once you fulfill these actions and you self-reflect on all the steps you had to take, that is now a fourth dimensional state of mind. That is now a fourth dimensional state of mind. And and then once you know how you feel about it, once you know exactly how you feel about all the steps you've taken for you to be in a laid back state, where now you're just self-reflecting on your accomplishment and what you achieved, from the first to the second to the third dimension, now to the fourth dimensional plane of awareness, which is the invisible plane again. Now you're invisible again, because now you're just self-reflecting in your mind on what you've achieved and now how you feel about it. You see, that's getting to the core of your fourth dimensional self observational reflection, is how you feel about what you've achieved. You have to give some type of emphasis on that. You have to truly know how you feel about what you've achieved through your own detailing of your mind. You have to be detailed in your own mind of how you feel about what you achieved. So now once you know how you feel about what you achieved, I'm certain, I feel good. I feel real fucking good about how I went about accomplishing this goal and task. I feel real good. Now once you know that, your fifth dimensional mind state, your state of mind, your fifth dimensional state of mind, 1, your fifth dimensional level of awareness, 2, your fifth dimensional plane of awareness, your fifth dimensional frequency is you now judging, is you becoming the judge of your result. You becoming the judge of, now, you know how you feel, you're certain how you feel it. Now your fifth dimensional awareness is you becoming the judge of your result. You are now the judge of your result. Now you're judging yourself. Now you're judging yourself. That's your fifth dimensional mind frame. I'm now I'm in a state of judging myself. Now I'm going to judge myself on whether I'm justified in feeling good, and or whether I'm unjustified in feeling good. Now, that's where you have your reasons all stacked up in a linear order. That's where you need your logos, your accorded linear rationality, all in order. You need to be able to know how to count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 without skipping a number. That's when you're complete. You cannot tell me, you counted to 10 and you skipping a few numbers. You're not in your right mind at that point. If you feel like you completed the count to 10 and you skipping a few numbers, you ain't even get to 4. You ain't get to 5 or 6. You ain't even get to 8. Where are you in your right mind? You incorrect. So when you get to that judgment point of the fifth dimensional mind state, you're justifying, you're there to justify or unjustify. I mean, I could justify why I feel good. I could justify why the way I did that was correct. I could justify the way I handled that situation or that circumstance with that person, or that or that scenario and that environment with this behavior. With this behavior. I can justify why I had to act that way. Now, if you can't justify your past actions from the first to fourth, from the first mind stated frequency to the fourth mind stated frequency, then you can go back and you can level yourself out and maybe I could make some corrections here. I could do better there. I wasn't justified in talking to that person like that because that person only wanted to know this. They only wanted to know that. And there was a genuine misunderstanding there. So you can always go back from the fifth dimensional mind frame and be able to perceive yourself on where you could have been lighter, where you could have been less harsher on yourself and on others. Because when you're less harsher on yourself, when you're lighter on yourself, you're a lot lighter and a lot less harsher on others. Naturally, you won't even have to think about. You won't even have to think about. You won't have to imagine this. This is just a natural dynamic that you're gonna have sociologically with others when you're, experiencing life. Because we're all social creatures here on Earth. So when you get to that point where you're your own judge of justifying what you had to do to accomplish your goal and your achievement from the first, second, third, and fourth state of your mind state, then you would know that if you tried to judge yourself before you were able to know yourself on a fifth dimensional frequency, because a fifth dimensional frequency is a fifth dimensional frequency. It's a mind state. You need to know when you're reaching these states of mind, because these states of minds are frequencies, and these frequencies are dimensional. Each dimension is a plateau, a point, a line, a dimension, a plateau, a frequency, a visual, like a vision, a visual, an epiphany. They're all synonymous with one another. You have to understand that. I think this is it's 27 minutes in, and this is probably the most critical information throughout the whole video. They're all synonymous with one another. That's like if what I just said in the last 10 seconds didn't change your life, then you're not keeping up with what you're supposed to be keeping up with. You might have to rewind the video. You might have to rewind the video a little bit and better understand this double split experience that we're all living here on Earth. You see, it's not an experiment. This is an experience. If you're gonna call the double split an experiment, then you might as well call life on Earth an experiment. It's just one big, giant, microcosmic, hallucinogenetic experiment for an invisible being to experience a visible spectrum with throughout all phases of matter, with the last phase of matter being a solidified experience, with the last phase of matter being a solidified experience. And that's all solidity is. It's just an optical illusion of our prefrontal neocortex gland perceiving light. This is how we perceive light through our iris. That's it. So our pineal gland would be the knower of how we are experiencing light, matter, sound, and imagery, symbolic imagery, all in one illusion, as one synonym, as one adjective synonym. Our pineal gland will be the answer. All right, I know the answer. Our prefrontal neocortex is just the function. This is just a function. Our pineal gland is the answer on how we're having this holographic virtual experience of four different definitions of vocabulary, all meaning one action. They're all meaning the same function. They're all experienceable as one synonym. You have to understand that synonyms are the key to life. Synonyms are the key to life. If you want to talk about ascension, you're not gonna ascend nowhere if you don't live your life by synonyms. Because you have to be a synonym if you want to ascend to any heaven or to any realm of divinity. You have to know in and out. Your vocabulary, the way you speak, is of a synonymous nature. Soul eater. You have to know that for the rest of your life. And once you pretty much got synonyms down pat, and you know how to live your life adjectively by synonyms, then you'll know, all of your life is but your imagination of your dreams, and your dreams will always be what you pay attention to the most. That's all your dreams will ever be, is what you pay attention to the most. Your entire life is only your imagination, and really it's a hallucination, because an optical illusion is a hallucination, organically. An optical illusion of the double slit experiencing itself out as a living, breathing hallucination is a imagination of a dream, and this dream is only what you pay attention to the most throughout the duration of your life. That's it. If you pay attention to this the most, that's going to be at the forefront of your life. If you pay attention to flipping burgers at your job the most throughout your life, and you don't start putting all that focus into your after work activity, to your own job and your own entrepreneurial business, then that's not going to manifest, because you pay more attention to flipping them burgers than you are paying when you paying attention to getting to the motherfucking draw board when you get off of work, and then you gotta put some time into your own actual idea. So then your dream is just gonna be nothing more but flipping burgers. You're just gonna keep seeing that dream. But once you start saying, like, even if you spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours every day, after you get home from working that job, you're gonna see, all right, boom. After about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, now you went from 2 hours, 3 hours, you went from 3 hours to 8 hours. You went from 3 hours to 8 hours. That's habit. So your dreams, your dreams is always affected by your habits. Your habits are either pick up speed on your dreams. It'll pick up on you running at top speed to catch up with your dreams, or your habits can slow you down from catching your dreams. That's where we get dream catchers from. If you damn, this shit 33 minutes now. If you lose weight, you'll be able to catch your dreams faster. But if you gain weight, you're gonna slow down, and your dreams are gonna outrun you, because your dreams got legs. The fuck you want me to tell you? Your dreams got legs. You put on that weight, you're not gonna be able to catch your dreams. If you knew your dreams had legs, you wouldn't be overweight. I'm about to go in the gym right now. I don't talk that shit for no reason. I'll go in the gym right now and play that shit. You drop that weight and you become light enough, you can catch your dreams. Why? I'm gonna tell you why you can catch your dreams. Because all that fucking effort and emotional intensity that you committed to, and you disciplined yourself to drop that weight and to shed that weight, was only you dreaming of a healthier version of yourself. Vision. You was only dreaming of a healthier vision of yourself. Not version, vision. You was only dreaming of a healthier vision of yourself. And you caught up to that vision. When you lose that weight and you get that abs, or you get them titties, or you get that big old ass, and you ain't get that surgery, you got that big old ass from working in the gym, guess what? You caught up with yourself. You caught up with that dream. And that dream was a vision. You caught up with that vision. And now you're living out that vision on a 6th dimension. That vision that you caught up with is on the 6th dimension. Not knowing what to do with itself, that's the backwardness of the 6th dimension. You're not knowing that vision is not knowing what to do with itself until that 1st and 2nd dimension can become aware of what that 3rd dimension needs. That 3rd dimensional fat ass you, they need your 1st and 2nd dimensional you need to become aware of what your 3rd dimensional needs are. For your 3rd dimensional vision, for your 3rd dimensional vision to now catch up to your 6th dimensional vision, which is already lean and cut up and muscled out, to know what to do with itself next, because it's moving on to a higher idea, a bigger picture. It's moving on to a bigger picture now. Now it's moving on to being in a magazine. Now you could be in a magazine. That's the bigger picture now. Now you could be in a magazine. You could be in a photo shoot. But in the first and 2nd dimensional, 1st and 2nd dimension, you would have had to stop eating. You would have had to stop eating certain food. You would have had to commit to stop eating certain foods. You would have had to stop eating certain foods for a certain amount of time. You would have had to start eating other foods. You would have had to find out what other foods you needed. So your 1st and 2nd dimensional vision would have been your invisible mind, or your mental realm of ideas overflowing through your mind on what you need to do in order to catch up to this vision that you have on the 6th dimensional plane, because on the 3rd dimensional plane, you fat. You mad fat. I hope this is making sense to y'all, because I just created mad sense. I just created OD sense. And it's like 36 minutes. Like, yo, I just created mad sense in 36 minutes. That was a good definition of multidimensionality, right? I hope it was, because I could really explain this shit a little bit more simplified. I can keep it real simplified and base layered on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just go on and on, because then there's the multidimensionality of your own mind, and then there's the multidimensionality of the mind of the earth that we're on. You know what I'm saying? Which is just a mirror with one another. It's just gonna mirror one another. So as you're observing your own life around you, guess what? Your life around you is observing your ass too. And the moment that life around you that's observing you becomes aware that you're observing it with a mind that can say, I'm appreciative of my being here. I'm appreciative of my being here. You will open up your channel to be able to hear. You will be able to hear that. Oh shit, you can understand me? You hear that hum. It's a frequency, it's a hum. Earth don't speak English. Earth don't speak Spanish, it don't speak Chinese. Earth don't speak Arabic. Earth speak vibration. Earth speak frequency, vibration, relativity. So when you get to that point, when you get to that highest frequency of appreciation, you will be able to open up your channels, your heart, to be able to receive that frequency of the earth, of the earth's hum. And this earth's hum can be, correspondent to a higher ability of distinguishment. You'll be able to you will be able to highly abilitize yourself to be able to distinguish what's yours and what's not yours. Oh shit, is that tree over there speaking to me? Oh yeah, nigga, you been here before, nigga, you late again. Oh, yo, I am late. Fuck. Yeah, you been did this. Oh, fuck. Alright, boy, I know what I gotta do. I gotta meet these individuals. I know who I gotta meet. I gotta place myself in this environment. I gotta be over here. I gotta be over there. I gotta be with this group. I gotta place myself in these situations. I gotta get up out of these situations, and I gotta get myself over in these situations with these quality and core quality of people who focus on these subjects and topics. I need to be able to talk about these subjects and topics, because talking about these subjects and topics will only leave me in a state of you got it. Right? So instead of the tree over there telling you, hey, yeah, nigga, you did this before, you don't remember? What you should be on a frequency where the tree is like, yeah, you enjoying that breeze, right? That breeze feel good, right? How that breeze feel? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be there with the tree. You're not supposed to be like lagging. You're not supposed to be jet lagging a little bit behind the tree, like, oh, like, yo, all right, boom, boom, I know what I gotta do. Pit up real fast. All right, boom. Mind you, this is a whole psychedelic experience. This is what happens when you on experience psychedelics. You take psychedelics, you experience elevated states of conscientiousness, consciousness. And you know, trees breathe just like we breathe. Trees got fucking cardiovascular systems. What's the other vascular system? Trees got the word, other vascular system, but they breathe in the same oxygen we breathe. So when that tree hits you, like, oh, look, that breeze feel good, right? How you enjoying the wind? You up to pace. You know what I'm saying? You just being. You know, you enjoy the tree for what it is. He's there with you. Mind you, the tree been there longer than you. Trust me, that tree been there longer than you. That tree gonna remember you. That tree gonna remember you even when you don't remember yourself. You know what I'm saying? That tree gonna remember you before you even remember. You gonna be fucking around. You gonna be running after yourself, or jet lagged the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Or jet lagged the fuck out. That tree just watching you like, yo, you gotta give yourself a moment. yo, you got that tree gonna be just dead. It's gonna be dead. Like, just gotta give yourself a moment, mind you. But you able to distinguish, like, all right, you know, I know where this is coming from. You know what I'm saying? When you experience this elevated state of awareness, you know what is coming from. You know, and it's like this is not no pseudo science. You know, this is real science, because if you are, let's just say you're a man, you like, and this is real graphic. Let's just say you're a man, right? And you know you love women, you love having sex with women. You're a heterosexual man, you have sex with women, right? Or you think about on a daily, you got your own car, your own crib, you know, you can afford to have sex with a woman because, you know, you're focused on your priorities and your purpose in life. So on your mean time, you know, on your passive time, your leisurely time, you have sex with women, right? This is your hobby. This is like a sport. This is for the fellas. This is really for the fellas. And for women to understand, this is your sport now. You have sex with women on your leisure time because, you know, you do what you got to do for yourself. So you know your mind. You know what I'm saying? You know your mind when you living out your responsibility, you taking accountability for yourself, you being responsible for yourself, you being a contributive member of society. You go to work, you accomplish what you got to accomplish, and on your mean time, you just love fucking bitches. That's you. You know when you about to go have sex with a woman, you know why. Hey, I got the time. I'm about to go fuck this bitch. Hey. Now you know your mind frame. You know how you gonna talk to a woman. You know how you gonna flirt with a woman. You know what you're gonna do to sexually seduce a woman. You know whether you're gonna eat her or not. You know whether, you want her to suck your dick or not. You know whether you want her to, be sexual with you or not. You know in your mind what you want to get with this woman. You know what your intentions are with her. You know, if you come into my house, you come in to fuck. Don't come to my house and you talking about you didn't expect to have sex. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what you coming over here for. You know why I invited you. You know why you wanted me to come. Will you invite me to your house? Don't think you're not gonna have sex, because that's already in my mind. You know your mind as a heterosexual male. So now here's the point that I get with elevated states of consciousness, psychedelics, and trees being able to be mindful of you. Trees can be able to be mindful of you. And if you're mindful of your environment, of the earth you're on, let's just say, you're a fucking vegan, you're mindful of animal flesh, and your environment of the earth being an organic, living, sentient awareness, then you would know, I can be mindful of this tree. As a heterosexual male, you would know, man, if you got in a car, let's just say you got in a car with another dude, and all of a sudden, you just got a thought you just got a thought that you would never imagine. Like, you got an image. You see, like, you got an image you'll never imagine. Like, imagine you just got in a car, and all of a sudden you just thought about sucking dick. You like, I gotta get the fuck out of this car. Yo, my nigga. You be looking at that nigga like, yo, the fuck is wrong with you? He be like, what? You talking? Yo, get out my car. Yo, get out my car, my nigga. Get out my car. 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 Mind you, this is the highest formula of what? Telepathy. This is the highest formula of human interaction. This is the highest formula of existence to a point where, you know yourself so well because you're at a frequency of the planet, of the universal planet. You're at the frequency of a universal cosmic mother to an awareness where, yo, I ain't never had a thought like that before in my life. Why the fuck when I get in my car now, I just thought about some dick. Why I just had a thought about a dick? I can't even say this shit, bro. That's how motherfucking set neurologically I am. I can't even like say this shit out of my mouth. Like I can't even like use as an analogy sucking dick. Like I can't even fathom that shit, my nigga. like hold on, I can't even imagine. Hold on, but imagine as soon as you get in a car, you just get like an image of a dick. Like, yo, my nigga, get the fuck out of my car. Get out my car. Mind you, he don't know why you tell him to get the fuck out the car, but in his unconscious, he know. In his unconscious or his subconscious, wherever he's at, where his mind frame, he's sucking dick somewhere. Somewhere he's sucking dick. And you don't know because he ain't never talk about it out of his mouth. He ain't never say nothing. But you don't want to be around that nigga no more because you just got finished from having a threesome with like 2 bitches. You just finished fucking like 2 bitches, blowing their whole head off. You get in a car with this nigga. He might be a family member, a friend, or whatever, whoever. And you just get a picture of dick. Yo, you just get like a homo ass. They call it a vibe, like a vibe. You can just get, yo, this nigga, yo, bro, you gotta get the fuck out of my car, bro. Get up out of here. Go. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's a nigga who's 100% intuitive. That's a 100% intuitive nigga. Get out of here, man. Get the fuck out of my car, son. I can't do this. Mind you, nigga lost in the sauce. But he don't know. Since he not on your frequency, he's sucking dick in his dreams somewhere. He's sucking dick. That nigga gay. That nigga's a faggot. That nigga's a faggioto. Can't be around him, bruh. Can't be around him, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep your space a jewel. You gotta keep your space a jewel. You gotta keep your environment a jewel. And any tree will tell you. Keep your motherfucking space a jewel. Any tree will tell you. But this 47 minutes now. And that's just the difference between a 9th dimensional being and a 3rd dimensional being. You know what I'm saying? A 9th dimensional being is no better than to be sitting in the car with, a dude who don't share the same values as they do. They don't share the same principles, same preferences, none of that. They'll know before the 3rd dimensional being knows. Because the 3rd dimensional being is still on the path. They're still in the travels. 9th dimensional being got a little bit more up there going on. You don't know what they pay attention to, where they be in the environment, what they be about. You don't know who they are in private. I'm very transparent with who I am in private and who I am in the public because shit, I don't give a fuck. You see how this video then went from pure fucking astrophysics to me just talking about eating pussy and sucking dick and fucking. And Tree, shut up! You think you can come to my crib and you not fucking? You see how fast you can turn to that? You come to my crib, you not fucking? You stupid. Don't be that. 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 Don't be that.